Hi, third graders. Welcome back. We're going to finish up uh, talking about Thunder Cake today, and then we're going to talk a little bit about how that is similar and how it's different to the characters in the case of the gasping garbage. So remember yesterday we read Thunder Cake, and I told you it was in the text collection, that first volume. It's right towards the beginning. So if you want to go back and reread that story, you're welcome to do that. You can get a really good glimpse of the pictures or the artistry in here that I told you Patricia Polacco drew herself. I told you she was a Michigan author. And yesterday we talked in the story, we looked all through it, and we talked a lot about the character, the narrator, which is the granddaughter, the girl, and kind of the beginning, the middle, and the end of what happened in that story. I told you I loved Patricia Polacco. So this is my copy of the book, and I wanted to show you a couple things. On the inside, look at, she signed it to me. So 2018 was when she came to my school, which was Lincoln Elementary. So that was 2 years ago. So if you're a Lincoln third grader or any other third grader, you would have been in first grade during that time. And then at the end of the book, I wanted to show you this. Here, it says, My Grandma's Thunder Cake. So here's the recipe that she put in her book for her grandma's Thunder Cake. So I would like to share that with you. Here's another version of it that somebody else made. And in this recipe, you actually get to use a crock pot, and it uses just a package cake mix, so you don't have to put all the ingredients together. So this is a little simpler way to do it. So I'm going to share this one with you. In your Google Classroom. So make sure if you want to make a Thunder Cake, right, you'll have the recipe to do that. So today, I just want to look back in the story, and I want to think about the characters in Thunder Cake and then the characters in the case of the gasping garbage, right, Nell and Drake. And I want to think about these characters. How do they solve problems differently, right? In the case of the gasping garbage, they go about it using science. But in Thunder Cake, she doesn't really use science, right? So let's think about that for just a second. And I want you to always be thinking about characters in a story whenever you're reading something, even on your own. So here's the chart that I made today. It's about comparing characters, and I'm going to have you do a comparing activity today. So make sure you're just kind of paying attention right now and listening and understanding what it means to compare things and contrast things. Remember, contrast is the difference between things. So if I look about how these characters are alike, here's what I came up with. I said the grandma, Nell, and Drake are all motivated to solve a problem, right? We know they're problem solvers. That's what they're doing here. That told me that kind of their character traits. They might be determined. They might be helpful. Maybe you think they're kind, right? What are character traits on the inside? These are what motivates them. They're motivated to solve a problem, right? The girl, the granddaughter, is afraid of the thunder, so grandma's trying to help her not be afraid. And then Nell and Drake, right, like to solve mysteries. They've come up with some interesting things happening in their town, and they try to get to the bottom of it. So that's how they're alike, right? They are all motivated to solve a problem, and their traits are similar too. But here's how they're different, right? Grandma's motivation, the reason she's trying to solve a problem, is she wants to help her granddaughter overcome her fears, right? And her granddaughter, which we now know as Patricia, is afraid of thunder and thunderstorms. So grandma's coming up with an idea to solve that problem so that she's not afraid of thunder and thunderstorms. In the case of the gasping garbage, Nell and Drake are motivated for a different reason, right? They're not trying to help anybody overcome a fear. They're just trying to find solutions to their mysteries by using science. They're motivated by the use of science and all those facts and that information to solve problems. So while grandma's trying to help her granddaughter overcome fears, they're trying to use science to solve problems and to solve mysteries. Both of these people are doing things for others, right? Like here, they did it for Lily, and I'm trying to remember the girl in the very first story with the bread. I want to say Libby, but I don't think that's right. They're helping people, right? In this story, so is grandma, but they're doing it for some different reasons. So whenever we're reading a story, it's important that as a reader, we think about the characters, what motivates them to do the things they do, right? What actions do they take in a story? How does it help them throughout the story? And how do we identify those character traits, what they're like on the inside? So, thinking about all of those things as we read all different books and learn about all different types of characters.